Okay, here we go. Yeah, I lost connection. Had to restart the stream. Campaign. We will start Vietnam. No thermals, nothing. Okay, here we start the game. Lost sound.
Yeah, direct hits right there.
Okay, now we have sound. Alright, there's a training room. Okay, let's play that. Is it some sort of sandbox? Yeah, seems like. Click mission editor. This will be probably the same, right? Yeah. Good. 68. Point defense for base. For cop. Yeah, spooky. Got a minimal threat to air assets is expected by heavy caliber small arms. Vulcan 20 Mike for the Bofors and Gatling, okay. Yeah, it was this game that had once this briefing going,
Spooky 2-1, this is Blackbear. Good to hear you up above. I've seen sporadic gunfire, but just got word that a platoon size of Phelan is headed our way. Break. I'm not sure which direction they're coming from, but command won't let us bug off until sunrise, so it'd be great if you could help us through the night. Out. Got 2 armed and 1 armed. Got 2 armed.
saw something. Okay. Oh jeez. Wasn't it only... Will this missile shit now be... okay. How did they even know that we were above? They should have operated on altitudes that you can't hear them, but I'm not sure. Yeah, perhaps because of the better. Set rate, can I... will this now be this mini game here, fighting missiles or what? I guess so. I mean, of course, that is a threat. I know in Vietnam, did they lose to Manpad? In 68? Yeah, I mean, there were Manpads, sure. This must have got down by... And again, many of them were deployed at daylight. There was also a problem. I need to check, I don't know, I'm not an expert. But didn't fire a single round, already getting hit by missiles, that is, I don't know, man. Very dangerous. I mean, night at least protected. At some point they simply stopped all the day missions. It was simply not allowed anymore, no matter what happens. Even if there's an emergency or whatever, they are not allowed to fly a day. At least that I remember from Afghanistan, not even an emergency, nothing. Even if the president is in need of help, in Helmland, traces, no traces, nothing. Just get missiled. It's a bit banking angle or what? Misaligned. Now we're talking. I really like the effects, really cool. Definitely, man, outperforms the famous Call of Duty Modern Warfare mission. Yeah, shit. Gun misaligned. Can't fight the target now. There was a manpad coming from here.
Gun 3 armed.
that gun. There's a problem banking angle.
Flare.
I can't even see that dude. I think I got him. Stopped firing. Light him up. Light him up. It's not that entirely untrue. Yeah? It looks like crazy, but those Vulcans, they can indeed need a lot of. I mean, they don't have any fragmentation or.
Got 3 armed, got 2 armed.
Yeah, that is better. Sound, yeah, authentic. Was never. I mean, against compounds or whatever. Yeah, 20 mic is good. What do you mean by Doppler? You mean the distance the sound needs to travel, so you have to return? That you don't hear the explosions instantly, but it requires for the sound to arrive. Ah, yeah, okay. But graphic-wise, that looks really good here. Holy moly, really. you can retire Modern Warfare for the AC mission. This looks really good, yeah? Especially with the night vision. Also it's brightening up and everything. Oh man, yeah, we need to watch out with the gun. Especially it seems like the Vietnam ACs, the older ones, they need some time, need to watch out for the misalignments. Look at that, man. That dude figured out the effects. Dude, watch the footage. Yeah, the WikiLeaks. Yeah, wait until you see the vehicles and everything. Secondaries really look good. Nice. It was fun. Gee, I want to play it again, but they really pulled off this. I really like also the simulation aspects of Gunslate, of misalignment and everything, which is simply also a thing of the real. It's not like in Call of Duty, simply point thing at the target and simply fire. Good. Next scenario, again 68. I wonder, did they already had? I think playing that arm. Yeah, I think they already had ER strobes in Vietnam. I mean, it's not really a difficult technology. Question is if everybody was equipped with it. But I mean, you could also make makeshift. A bit difficult. Visible light. Definitely infrared light was not standard infrared strobes. I mean, it was not even standard equipment in Afghanistan. Good. Cop jockey again needs help. Yeah, I mean, they definitely had ER light. The technology is old as World War II. Yeah, I mean, the Panthers in World War II had already ER light. You know, those Panthers with the big, which you then could observe, or the old Soviet tanks with the big infrared lamps, which you would pick up in night vision. So you can also strobe it, but this was definitely not standard issue equipment for troops. Perhaps here, even for MAXOC here for the Vietnam Special Forces, US Special Forces. It's also rather something very special to carry around. Especially in the jungle, you might rather prioritize other equipment. I guess they often had rather to communicate what is enemy, what is not enemy. I mean, sure, they could use something like light signals, because on infrared you of course also see visible light. Using flashlights to signal your position. Also, even hooking up the communication would be already difficult between the gunship. Yeah, okay, starlight scopes, yeah, that is basically passive. No, I mean active. ES strobes are active infrared light. Starlight scopes, I think, are basically early nods. They pick up Restlichtverstärker. Yeah, exactly. Flashlight, and it doesn't matter if you have visible or infrared light. You will pick it up on the night vision. A Starlight is basically old school NOTs. Yeah, they were of course huge back in the Cold War or in Vietnam. I mean, active infrared emitters, which you don't see with the eye, but you see it in the like a flashlight, but only for infrared. That is what you see in passive NOTs. Yeah, that is why those big things on the Soviet tanks, those big lamps, they use them basically as infrared flashlights, so then they could pick them up with their crappy infrared passive. And that was the technology back in the days. Same for the M60 tank. Yeah. Also they had a big, or later they had those passive lamps because passive only was not good enough. No, I doubt that those strobes. They might rather use visible light to signal their positions, or at least muffled light. There was red or green filters, and then perhaps they had a gunship, and then either from the radio operator they got the signal. Please signal. Do a 5 strobe and signal your position all 15 seconds or something, and then they used it and simply into the air. And if they operated NOTs on those gunships, well, you would pick up that visible light pretty good, even with shitty NOTs. Yeah, daylight mirror. I don't know how reliable that would be. Yeah, daylight, hard to tell, you know. If you can't make it out with your electro-optical sensors. Mirrors, I don't know if they used it, if they did that. But what would I call it? Unreliable communication method. Because there could be simply some random reflections picked up as some signal. I doubt that they ever relied. I mean, sure, there was pretty sure some units were relied on that, but in a situation like that, where you really need to prevent miscommunication, if some dude, okay, here, this is a friendly position, okay, so those dudes are the enemies, and they light you up. They did, but in combo with radio, yeah, okay, then it makes sense. If you have direct communication to the pilot, and can communicate that you're currently signaling, true. Because often you don't have direct, or often, depends on the situation, you don't have direct comms to the air support. We're working with some operator that is working in somewhere in a whatever command center. They have several radios there, and might be linked up with the air, and then of course you need to watch out for communication mishaps. Pave Spectre. Was it always the AC-130? Wait, I can see. Is that AC-180? No. Oh, is that? No. Is that AC-180? No. It was always the AC-130. In 20 versions. Ambush breaker. Okay, some enemy troops prepared an attack. They even would try not to say what color of smoke they would pop. Yeah, that is of course dangerous, yeah. True, yeah. Otherwise Viet Cong might do it. Yeah, green smoke, friendly position, yeah, and then they would throw a red smoke onto the enemy position, yeah. Yes, I mean, there's also the one inaccuracy with the Black Hawk Down movie when it comes to those attacking little birds. There was never a dude that threw a ER strobe onto the enemy positions, which is not that stupid. I mean, you could do that, but usually, again, you might mix it up with ER strobes are signaling friendly forces or friendly positions. So you should rather not mix it up then and throw it at the enemy position. But they rather by communication worked it out in order to attack those roofs, which indeed happened during the Battle of Mogadishu. That's really simply a huge difficulty up to this very day. You had to communicate friendly and enemy positions, and it was even more difficult in Vietnam. I see how much blue and blue incidents happened in the Gulf War, even in the Iraq invasion. That infamous Apache video where that dude is blowing up those M113s or whatever, or Bradleys. So the fucking operator is pushing him while he's completely insecure. Oh, better not be to be. What is he saying after launch? Better not to be friendlies. God damn, man. All those dudes here with the Tomcats, with what Tomcat is the ground version B, right? Or C? I don't know. I see launchers. This orange missiles. Orange missiles. It's definitely not the orange signal that everybody put on top of their vehicles to prevent friendly fire. Yeah, blue on blue is really brutal. I mean, recent stories. Yeah, there was a F-16 shot down by a Patriot. You see, that even happens with the modern technology. And one F-16 was now lost in a training flight, and one F-16 was shot down by a Patriot. Mistaken for a missile, or perhaps that Patriot misguided, whatever shit can happen. By accident locked onto it. Did you see the video, the audio log of that Russian pilot who is evading Patriots? Actually, that is the most dramatic sound footage I've heard in the recent years. You could put that into some main menu of our aircraft sim. Mix it up, like in Lock-On. Really good. I think I posted it on my channel. There's footage from the Ukraine war where some Russian pilot is evading Patriots. And Patriots are brutal, yeah. Patriots will kill you. But dude made it. And you hear the I mean, it's Russian speaking but with subtitles, and dudes are completely on fire. Here, Jimmy 1, Patriot launch, disengage, and they already know, man, fucking Patriots incoming, because they simply know the kill probability of a Patriot is simply extremely high. And you hear that dude is pushing, man, his Sukhoi or whatever. He's talking to the radio. I know. Evade left. Evading left. Because dude is pushing that G's so hard, man. Beaming probably the missile. Crazy, man. You check out that. Really extremely dramatic. Reminds me of the F-16 that evaded those 9 SAMs in the Gulf War. There was one dude that was evading, non-stop evading for 5-6 minutes. Couldn't even breathe properly.
Destroyer 2-1, this is Black Bear, over.
Bandit.
Charlie seems to have set up a surprise for us out to our south along the road. I think it's appropriate for us to do the same. Cleared hot on all personnel out there along the road. There won't be any friendly units out there, and it's unlikely any non-combatants are roaming the jungle this late at night.
Good scene in Charlie Wilson's War. Charlie Wilson's War, what is that for a movie? South.
There should be a turkey shoot. Be sure not to let any of them escape, otherwise we'll deem this a failed sword. Happy hunting. Out. Gun 1 armed. Gun 2 armed.
South. Unfortunately, I don't have any indication where south. Charlie Wilson's War. Yeah. I can't remember seeing it. Sounds interesting. I need to open my tab. Yeah. I wanted to watch it, forgot about it. Rather watched Iron Cross. And that movie, legendary. The scene where the dude is on the balcony and then Schnurrbart! Yeah, Jimmy, I'm going back to the Eastern Front where people die at a daily basis. You live in shit. And it is so bad, nobody wants to be there. And then Steiner looks back into his room and he is together with that sexy nurse, and the nurse is pulling off their clothes again, going for another round. And Steiner, yeah, Jimmy, wait! Yeah, but there's people like that, man. There's also, I tell you, a lot of volunteers in the Ukraine war are people that probably even knew that they might not come back alive. There's this stereotype. Once if you lived on the battlefield, man, you are not good for anything else. There's this movie, I mean, which movie? It's rather unrealistic. That here, Hurt Locker about that EOD Tony. It's not really a realistic movie. There's also a lot of nonsense scenes, despite its Oscars. But what they really got right is when that dude comes back home, he is in a supermarket, has to pick between the cornflakes, between the 20 different brands of cornflakes, and he says, what the fuck I'm doing here, man? Yeah, it is something strange. I mean, I even also notice this pull. Normally you say you want never to be back there. It is the worst place you can be. It is simply meat grinding, man getting blown up for some old fat asses, rich fat asses. But yeah, there's something that pulls you back, causes a fascination. And there's a lot of veterans, I think they go there to go to Valhalla. They probably even know that the situation is bad and they might not come back. They know about all this vile drone warfare, this inhuman shit, but I still go in there. Yeah, that stuff is of course also very special. Yeah. It creates a certain culture and atmosphere which you will never see again. And then in return to the world, man, people yapping all day about nonsense, and you can't return from this. And yeah, then you might go back. I followed some of those volunteers that went to Ukraine, and many of them never came back. I mean, there's high chances they will never come back. Way higher than in Afghanistan or Iraq. But I can understand it. Those dudes probably even know it, that they won't come back. But that is the way of a samurai, way of warrior. Normie can't understand that. Yeah, they will think, yeah, you're stupid, why are you dying for that, nobody cares. Why not living a wealthy, peaceful life with a sexy nurse? Also when she asked, oh Rolf, I was thinking we are going back having holidays at home. And then Steiner, I have no home. And then at my home, our home, man. Dude had one dance, she already wants to marry him and everything. Dude, marriage with a sexy, good woman, going back to shit Eastern Front which is collapsing. Going back to the Eastern Front, yeah. There's dudes like that. They can't live a normal life anymore. No matter if you are together with Heidi Klum or whatever, you can't live a normal life anymore. It doesn't matter. Even if somebody gives you $10 million, yeah, and it is something I can understand. I guess other people can grasp. It is not good. It's nothing to be proud about. But yeah, ambush. But it is what it is. Yeah.
Got two armed.
You can have money. You can have everything. But there is something that a battlefield or war deployment can do to you. That's why you have those war addicts, chesty pullers and whatever, that live their entire life in war. They can't return to normality. If there's a conflict, it is in all history. There's even back in the history, there's dudes, they couldn't sit down their butts for a year or whatever at home. They went immediately to the next war. So that is not an effect, that is not a modern effect. This stuff exists for man already for a long time. Light them up. Man, the reaction, those dudes were lying all in ambush. Imagine you lying all in ambush, suddenly somebody rains down 40 mic on you.
Got one armed. Got two armed. Got one armed.
But I really like the... Why is the 20 mic? Because we are out. I need to... Wait, the bank is too steep? I guess so, yeah, it must be. The bank is too steep. Can't get a 20 mic on. Okay, no. One hand game? Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I have my other hands in my pants. Other hands in my pants. That's also a good name for YouTube channel. And there's people like that. Yeah, I can absolutely understand it. So that Steiner... yeah, okay. Too many escaped, okay.
Destroyer 2-1, this is Black Bear, over.
Let me see.
Charlie seems to have set up a surprise for us out to our south along the road. I think it's appropriate for us to do the same.
That was this road here, right?
Well, cleared hot on all personnel out there along the road. There won't be any friendly units out there, and it's unlikely any non-combatants are roaming the jungle this late at night.
Ah.
There shouldn't be a turkey shoot. Be sure not to let any of them escape, otherwise we'll deem this a failed sword. Happy hunting. Out. Gun 2 armed. Gun 1 armed.
That is...
Gun 2 armed. Gun 3 armed.
Ah, okay, this time we have the big one.
Gun 2 armed. Gun 1 armed.
20 mic, 40 mic.
Gun 3 armed.
And then surprised him with a big shot.
Gun 2 armed. Gun 1 armed. Gun 2 armed.
That was a bad timing. Now the gun is misaligned because you're flying over them. That was a bit bad timing. Which one we...
Destroyer 2-1, this is Black Bear, over. Bandit. Charlie seems to have set up a surprise for us out to our south along the road. I think it's appropriate for us to do the same. Well, cleared hot on all personnel out there along the road. There won't be any friendly units out there, and it's unlikely any non-combatants are roaming the jungle this late at night. There shouldn't be a turkey shoot. Be sure not to let any of them escape, otherwise we'll deem this a failed sword. Happy hunting. Out.
Okay, fire. It's the best position. I'll come.
Gun 3 armed.
Come on, align. Fire. Align. Yeah. Send.
Gun 2 armed.
Yeah, normally they would already align the other guns. Holy moly, man. Brutal. Look at this. It's absolutely crazy. What a carnage. What? Yeah, normally they would also align the other guns. It seems like they always need to pulling them out of neutral. Banking so hard. Stop banking. because of the map. Yeah, I mean, that is something they need to fix. I think the aircraft can't leave the map, so that aircraft is banking hard. Holy moly, I don't want to count those pieces there. To make the maps bigger, yeah. This banking is really annoying. It's almost here armor style.
Got two armed.
But the graphics, the presentation is absolutely top notch. You can't feel the brutality of the weapon system. I mean, look at this here. There's people, pieces. Just this. Nice. Yeah, I can't fix the aircraft. With the fucking map edge or whatever. Now make the map bigger, yeah, so that doesn't happen. There's no need for that bank. We're absolutely in range. Let's do this now. What the fuck was that? Make those fucking maps bigger, man. If the aircraft is circling around like that, how I'm supposed to fight? See that those maps are too small, and it seems like the aircraft is pushed into the boundaries and not allowed to leave, and then they bank like crazy and making it impossible to engage. It shouldn't be that hard. Make the map bigger. Who cares what is outside? Or let the aircraft go outside. I mean, why am I adjusting bank if I getting pushed again into a 60-degree angle and can't use my weapons? Fucking armor all over again. Same with armor, man. Oh, here, send my switchblade in. Oh, wait, give me your 70-degree bank. Now observe the area, please. This can't be so hard to figure that shit out, man. If you play, you should immediately notice, man, this fucking bank angle at the map edge is getting annoying. And there's no need for that. Our weapons can reach out. I would even enjoy if the weapon if he would be even further away, because then you can enjoy more the ballistics. Because the flight time is sometimes a joke of the weapons. There must be something like, man, you fire and then, I don't know, 5 seconds later you have the impact, yeah? That is not, then we're talking. Like, was it in Call of Duty, man, you fire and then you first wait. And then you see the big explosion. Because, I mean, the time to target is quite low here, I would say. It is ultra annoying, yes. God damn it, man. Really enjoyed the mission, but shit like that can really then become annoying. I mean, for what I'm adjusting the bank angle, doesn't make sense. And those maps, man, what is that? The Unreal Engine. Now make those maps bigger. So who cares if there's anything outside there? Or let me fly into the abyss. But stop banking the fucking aircraft to whatever 60 degrees. Such good design, audio-visually, and then really such amateur annoyances. Okay, next. SOS call from our And how do I set the nav marker? If I would know, I would set it on the center of the map to prevent this nonsense. As in order to stay, yeah, but that's probably not possible with those mini maps to stay away from the enemy. Yeah, you might not always put a circle on the enemy forces. Yeah? You might put even your orbit or your station entirely outside, yeah, of the target site. And then you can nicely adjust between close engage, far engage. I don't know if you can move the nav marker. Let's see. So it was not covered by the tutorial. Ah, here, space. Okay, cool. Perhaps with that we can fix some stuff. Good, again, cop jockey. This time, FOB defense. Or cop defense. Let's go. So I can't fly outside of the map. So why are we banking the aircraft so hard? If I realize, if you have a low bank, yeah, of course the orbit increases, yeah, but that's fine. Leave me alone. Yeah, that's fine, that's okay. However, this time it works, good. Hey, we have thermals or what? Wait, where are we? Is it Vietnam? Wait, is it hostile? No, that's friendly, right? Yeah. Can you perhaps even pitch? Yeah, normally it must be, I mean, if I do that here. Pressing the wrong button? Okay, yeah, no, it's fine. I pressed the wrong button, I think. I pressed G, this H. Okay. Yeah, okay, perhaps it was to some extent my fault. Yeah, okay. Wait, are we supposed to... Ah, yeah, okay. Enemy forces.
Got 2 armed.
Okay, send it. Alter. Kingy. Misaligned?
Vector, appreciate the fire support. We'll take up defensive positions. Keep hitting them until that their attack dies down. Hold on.
Those guys using strobes. Wait, I need to... What the fuck is going on here? Ah, okay, we attack, they go in. Let me read the mission briefing again. It's a bit here more complex. So we nuke the outpost, then Maxoc, whatever team is going in, and then we protect them, okay. Guess I nuked my own Tonys. Okay, mission. Okay, let's go. Suits were hiding inside, okay. Yeah, man, that's... What is it? What are they firing? 105? I don't know, it was a different guns in Vietnam, but it was a big Tony they're firing from those gunships. 105. Millimeters. What was the big gun on Gunship? I guess 105 millimeters. I think ice might become a bit difficult to fire from my aircraft. On the gunships here.
Got 2 armed. Got 1 armed.
Oh shit, yeah, okay.
Vector, we're taking 2 main casualties. Keep them off us.
I'm lighting him up.
2 armed.
There's a knight. Ooh, Alter, yeah, that is a friendly fire incident. Yeah, very good. No, I think the big gun was 105, huh? That's basically the biggest thing you can get on I mean, they had different guns here all over the history. Look at how many versions they had. Ah, it was always a 130, okay. Yeah, ground, anti-aircraft, sure, but on an aircraft, putting a big gun was always difficult. I think it was a 105. 105, yeah. Yeah, that is what you get, yeah. That is here is it? No, that is for that is not a 105. But yeah, that Tony here is a 105, and that is the Vulcans. I can't tell 20 or 40. Because that is 20, but that is the big Tony, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that is basically what you can get on an aircraft. Everything bigger would, I mean, the bigger the caliber, yeah, the more unproportionally creates recoil. Yeah, that is all the gunships lost in Vietnam. And I think it stayed always 105. So I think bigger would be something crazy. Yeah, 105. Yeah, I lit up my own Tonys because I didn't wait for the gun alignment.
Vector, smoking jockey is overrun. Requesting danger close support on our location. Over.
I mean, 105s are not that brutal, but yeah, against if you would fire 105 into that, it would not render everyone there competent and effective. It is not like some nuke or whatever, but it's of course for air support gun definitely a titan. Holy moly. Like that they don't all engage like zombies, but that they can take cover or whatever, or delay.
And one armed.
Just got pieced. Mincemeated.
And two armed. And one armed.
Ow. Center mass. was danger close. Man, I don't know, man. That is, I mean, that was always, I was thinking about the Taliban dudes that got under observation of Predator drones or gunships. I always found that brutal. Yeah? What we nowadays have, basically in the Ukraine war, constant observation and you can't flee. No matter where you take cover, they find you. And it's basically, with those drones you have now, with those cheap drones, it is basically heat increased by 100. Yeah? I was back in the days was already thinking, man, those dudes have balls to fight, never knowing when a predator hellfire will impact into them or into their house, into their family even. Must say it. If you at night being observed in the woods, you are gonna. The only way you can hide is finding some hole or whatever, some cave which you will never find, which you will not find. Yeah?
Got two armed.
No. The thermals are brutal, and
Victor, we're taking too many casualties. Keep them off us.
you see shit and they see everything. Especially with those drones, yeah. You hear only the buzzing at night. Can't do anything. Why those dudes know exactly where you are. Brutal.
And one armed.
Do you hear that? What is that for? Do you hear? What I hear, man? Yeah, but that is, man, that is military authentic headphones. That's some strange signals. Wow, shit. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, now with the back angle it works.
Got two armed and one armed. Got two armed. Got one armed.
But very good, yeah.
Got two armed. Got one armed. Got two armed.
Aye, man. So we walked right into that round. Fucking hell, man. Good. Afghanistan. Those are basically always quick missions, right? Nice. Keswick down. Crazy one. What? Why didn't they use AC-130 in Mogadishu, man? Or would that have worked out? Yeah, but in open terrain, civilian casualties. Okay. Yeah, makes sense that they didn't use it.
Checking vehicles too. You are clear to level the building.
25mm rotary.
Don't see you right now.
How do I switch ammo? Point detonated. Howitzer airburst. 100 rounds. It's probably authentic loadouts. Actually, 600 rounds of 105. Carnage. Z. Okay.
Looks like the downed helo is right there to our front.
I see it, but I don't see the... Wait. I think the crew is in the third compound north of the helo.
The communications are
Irish
perfect.
probes, and it looks like they're getting surrounded by battalions.
Okay, let's get comms with Spartan and start engaging anyone with a weapon outside of that compound. Let's also get that compound marked.
Oh shit,
It's marked. Should see it on the sensors. Spartan 2-1, Spectrum 1-1. Spartan 2-1, go. We arrived in the AO and have eyes on the down helo at grid location 01783, TAC 92117, break. It looks like the air crew moved south from the helo about 200 meters to the nearby compound.
Ah, yeah, okay.
Support the crew until you arrive.
Ah, crazy, they captured those dudes. Wait, that is interesting here. What's already thinking, what the heck is going on? Everybody's running around there. So they got the crew, we arrived basically at that position. It seems like there's already mixed civilian, Taliban, everything. That is also, I tell you, man, I've seen it, people, man, coming out onto their balconies in the middle of a firefight. Dudes coming out in the middle of the firefight, they were watching football. Huh? Who's shooting there outside? Ah, yeah, there's a firefight going on between the ISAF and Taliban. Oh yeah, cool, man. Wait, let me get my Sony Ericsson, I want to film that. You can't imagine, man. Some people have absolutely zero self-preservation, eh? Zero. Zero. Don't care. I don't give a shit, man. You even see it in Ukraine war. A dude standing at the window and filming tanks with their phones while they roll beside. I mean, I would say GTFO from the windows, yeah. If you don't want to engage them. So if a tanker sees you at the window, he makes out a silhouette. Dude doesn't know is that a RPG Tony or is that a civilian? He might blast that window into pieces. Yeah? Some dude standing there, and you also have your arms up, filming with your phone or whatever, which from a distance can look. That's why you often have those dudes. Or you might be a cameraman or trigger man, because at least in Afghanistan there was often a problem. civilians pulled out their phones and kept their hand up. Well, that could be also a radio operator or a trigger man or a cameraman filming it for propaganda, and they got, yeah, you are in complete risk to getting blasted, but dudes give a single fuck. Oh yeah, here, firefight, crazy man. I was not in Iraq, but I heard it from other men. They had firefights going on, while the dudes were standing on the on the roofs and in certain buildings. You know, you can go onto the roof and watching the firefight in the vicinity. Yeah, exactly, and there's a problem. I mean, so I often had this friction with leadership. They told me, yeah, if you see some dude with a phone, blast him. I said I will not do that. Yeah, he might trigger IED or he might trigger a secondary. Or sometimes they blast Tonys away and then they wait for they blast, basically anspringen, what you call it. Yeah, partially blast a vehicle. Because they know if you're sitting in those MRAPs, dingos or whatever, that you might survive. But the vehicle might get immobilized and there might be injuries. Then they wait until you leave the vehicle, approach the victim vehicle, and then they blast a secondary charge, in order to get you in the open. While some dude is filming, I mean, nicht sprengen, anspringen, is what we called it. So you getting partially detonated. Yeah? They know that they will not blast your vehicle, but they want to immobilize you or cause wounded or whatever, so that everybody is leaving the vehicles to recover the wounded, and then they will blow up either a bigger or a secondary IED to get the people in the open, to kill you. And of course they want to film that for propaganda reasons. That's why you have the cameraman. You have the trigger man. A cameraman and trigger man can be the same person. And of course there's also RC operated, people that use their phones to detonate. Yeah, that was the mobile ones, the mobile IDs, mobile phone IDs. But there's also a ton of people, they simply pull out their phones and start filming in the middle of a firefight. They might be 10 meters away from you. They sit on their roofs, man, on their chair and watching the firefight and have their phones out. There's people that have zero self-preservation, you can't believe it. As if they never heard about that people can get killed, as if they would be in a video game. NPCs in a video game. Yeah, a normal person would say, shit, here's a firefight going on. Better get into safety. But you also have people, oh shit, there's a firefight going on. Better get in the midst of it and start filming. But you also see it in the Ukraine, man. People standing at the windows while tanks roll by. And filming those tanks while being at the window. I would get away, GDFO out of the window, away from the window. Because if you have some crazy tanker, man, dude got already engaged by 5 RPGs. You're rolling into open terrain, you see some dude standing with hands up. Not hands up like here, I surrender, but with hands in front of his torso. Which can also look like that you're holding something, a weapon or something, you might blast the window into pieces, There's people that, I mean, sure, there's also of course lack of knowledge, how weapon systems or what lethality weapon systems express, but still, it's people, man. I compare those dudes to those rally dudes that stand in the corner of high dangerous rally corners. You know what is the most popular places, most crowded places in rally? The most dangerous corners. People really asking for getting killed. I always had mega respect for those rally drivers, but I had zero respect for the retards standing in the corners, even with the kids, man. Those people I would like to punch into their faces. Fucking retards, man, with kids and wife or whatever. Hey, let's get into that corner where some motorized turbo rally driver, man, with 100 might lose control and crash into my family. You have people like that. It's fucking retards. They exist in every nation. I compared it. I think it's the same breed. It's the same breed as those dudes that stand in the corners of rally tracks in the 80s, 90s. I mean, nowadays, I guess you have a bit more safety. But yeah, 80s, 90s, you had those dudes, man, who basically almost stood on a track Yeah, I would never place my family in some high dangerous corner where a rally car might lose control, yeah, and spiral out into you and kill you. Yeah? But those are the most popular places. Yeah, people want to get themselves killed. That is a thrill. Yeah? Retards. I think it's the same breed, man. The rally corner dudes and those dudes that go into the roof or go into the windows filming shit.
Helo's right there to our front.
I see it, but I don't see the... Wait. I think the crew is in the third compound north of the helo. I can see their IR strobes, and it looks like they're getting surrounded by the tally.
Okay, let's get comms with Spartan and start engaging anyone with a weapon outside of that compound. Let's also get that compound marked.
Oh.
Mark, you should see it on the sensors. Martin 2-1, Spectre 1-1. Martin 2-1, go. We arrived in the AO and have eyes on the down helo at grid location 01783, TAC 92117, break. Looks like the air crew moved south from the helo about 200 meters to the nearby compound. We'll support the crew until you arrive. Spectre 1-1, copy all. We'll reach out when we get close. Out.
Gun misaligned. Man, what's that for a bang angle?
Targets are in the compound. Hit them.
Yeah, I can't because 5 degrees. Dude is banking 45. 50 even, man. What's going on is fucking bang angles, man. I can't align the fucking gun now.
Gun 2 armed.
Gun 2? No.
Gun 1 armed.
That has to be fixed. It's really annoying. That is not 5 degrees. That is... now it's stabilizing a bit. Because it seems like those aircraft struggle with the map boundaries or something. I can't get my fucking gun aligned. I'm supposed to light up? Yeah, I guess so.
Gun 2 armed. Gun 3 armed.
Light up. Wait, something is wrong. Ah, okay, now we have alignment. Holy shit.
Gun 1 armed. Gun 2 armed.
Yeah, it's the bank angle. It's fucking annoying, man. It's not 5 degrees. Or is that game? Yeah, no. What is if I go 0? What is if I go max? Yeah, no, it makes it worse. Oh, wait. Oh. Well, okay, my error. Are those guns require that bang angle? Okay. Shit, I didn't realize that. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, it doesn't make for me sense. I would rather say a flat bang angle.
But I don't see the... Wait. I think the crew is in the third compound north of the helo.
Yeah, don't change anything.
And it looks like they're getting surrounded by the tally.
Gun 3 armed.
Okay, let's get comms with Spartan and start engaging anyone with a weapon outside of that compound. Let's also get that compound marked.
Mark, you should see it on the sensors. Martin 2-1, Spectre 1-1. Martin 2-1, go. We arrived in the AO and have eyes on the down helo at grid location 01783, TAC 92117, break.
Gun 2 armed.
It looks like the air crew moved south from the helo about 200 meters to the nearby compound. Support the crew until you
Okay,
arrive.
those guns require that steep, but normally that doesn't make sense. If you would have a... Yeah, it depends on the distance, okay. If they're close, sure. Okay, I'm
Vector
good.
1-1, copy all. We'll reach out when we get close. Out.
Probably civilians.
Check the compound. Targets danger close.
Pretty sure they were civilians, man. Are we supposed to kill them? Yeah, I mean, normally you blow up the Blackhawk, correct? Let's approach it. Come on, let's do it here authentic. Don't blow shit up without reasoning.
Looks like the down
Without
helo
orders.
is right there to our front.
I see it, but I don't see the... Wait. I think the crew is in the third compound north of the helo. I can see their IR strobes, and it looks like they're getting surrounded by the tally.
Got 2 armed.
Okay, let's get comms with Spartan and start engaging anyone with a weapon outside of that compound. Let's also get that compound marked.
It's marked. Should see it on the sensors. Martin 2-1, Spectrum 1-1. Martin 2-1, go. We arrived in the AO and have eyes on the down helo at grid location 01783, TAC 92117, break. It looks like the air crew moved south from the helo about 200 meters to the nearby compound.
2 armed.
Second
Crew
base.
until you arrive.
Vector 1-1, copy all. We'll reach out when we get close. Out.
Ach du Scheiße. Yeah, let's play it real, man. Massive friendly fire incident. Why did I fire the 105? I was thinking I selected
Right there to
the...
our front.
I see it. I don't see the... Wait. I think the crew is in the third compound north of the helo.
I like how the dude says wait.
Either
I see. Wait. Ah, yeah.
Got 2 armed. 1 armed.
Okay, let's get comms with Spartan and start engaging anyone with a weapon outside of that compound. Let's also get that compound marked.
Mark. Should see it on the sensors. Martin 2-1, Spectrum 1-1. Martin 2-1, go. We arrived in the AO and have eyes on the down helo at grid location 01783, TAC 92117, break. It looks like the air crew moved south from the helo about 200 meters to the nearby compound. Support the crew until you arrive.
Vector 1-1, copy all. We'll reach out when we get close. Out.
Targets are in the compound. Hit them.
Lock them all up. I don't give a shit anymore.
Gun 3 armed.
Targets entered the compound.
Gun 2 armed. Gun 1 armed.
That's too close.
Friendlies are moving. Watch your fire. Guess they didn't like that last compound.
Relocating should keep the enemy guessing.
Guess they didn't like the last... oh, kurwa. Shit. Guess they didn't like the last compound.
Gun 2 armed.
guy friendly? He doesn't have a strobe. Is he alone? Seems like one guy dropped. Sound is really good, yeah.
Gun 3 armed. Gun 2 armed. Gun 3 armed. Gun 2 armed. Gun 3 armed. Gun 2 armed.
And you wonder how civilians getting killed? Yeah, that's your answer. At some point, man, you engage, yeah, you engage everything that moves, man. I mean, normally you should have civilians running around like that, but imagine those buildings, all those buildings. There might be some dudes, families hiding inside there. You simply light them up the entire IO. Now you have vehicles, dudes running around everywhere, thermal signatures everywhere. You light up everything. Yeah. That's why it's always important, no matter where you live, get a basement. Casualties of Wars type. You know what? Yeah. Screw, burn in hell. Burn in hell, you bad person. Man, Jimmy, that was a hard. Hardest trigger in history.
They're hiding in some trees just north of the helo, about 300 meters break. If you sweep along the northern road, we'll walk you into their location.
That was the king trigger, the king of the triggers. Judas alone. Yeah, that's a good mission design. It's basically Call of Duty style. Really like that, yeah. Those armored vehicles, what is that, LIVs? I guess so. The Marines are coming here, the recon Marines. Is that, no, that's not a Striker. No, that's a Bradley, no. Those 20 FV, that's LIVs. It's the Marines, man. The Marines coming.
Bars, they're between those rocks, just beyond the compound to your front.
What's that, dude?
Roger, my scouts are moving.
Yeah, great that you have here some Tony sitting. I don't know who that is. Is it a... Could be a... I don't know, is he carrying? I need to concentrate. He's going towards the Marines. He's getting... Holy Tony, man. Yeah, okay. At least not my... Who's that guy? That's what... That's should be mission design. You don't know, engage, not engage. You have some dudes doing strange things. Is there a civilian? What is he doing? Does he have a IED? Is it a suicide bomber? Or what are those two dudes doing there?
Got two unarmed.
They don't have strobes. Can't tell if they're carrying. Yeah, that's how you need to... Yeah, cool. Yeah. But they're in the vicinity, man. I don't like it. Could be civilians, I don't know. Where's the vehicle running? Better light it up. Ah, stuff like that. Running vehicle. Why is it running? Is there a danger? Is it a VBID? Some dude that wants to speed into the Marines? It's waiting for an ambush. Or is it civilians that want to get out, too scared to drive? Yeah, I was thinking that LAV lighted the vehicle up. And great to see that you're not always getting here waves of zombie enemies. That really creates tension. Something is getting engaged. that a mortar? Wait. Ah, okay. They're engaging those guys. Yeah, that guy is armed.
Got 2 armed.
Shit, that's too much.
Got 3 armed. Got 2 armed.
Why do I have a miss? Ah, okay. I need a yeah, new nav. Brutal. aren't moving forward. Bugged. Supposed to blow up the helo or no? We can try it. But that would be danger close. I mean, no suits standing here. Nobody would blow up a helo like that. I don't know what is going on. Yeah, I took all out. I took every target out. Everything non-strobe. But I don't know. The mission is bugged. There's some dude hiding somewhere, preventing the trigger. The casualties of war trigger. Yeah, almost there, but I don't know what is. Those two dudes are the helo, 3 dudes are the helo crew. There's nothing else here, no targets. Blew up everything. I'm supposed to blow up now our civilian homes or what? Yeah, okay. Happens. Good, let's assume they got those Tonys. Good, next. Raid und Khalid Ahmed. Be right back.
On the southeast side of Highway 4. Tracking. I got the square building, the rectangle building to the northwest. We have a square building and a rectangle building to the northwest. And on the big square building, there's a square rectangular, like, holding pond next to it. Do you see that? Yes, just west of it. It's on the west side. Primary air guidance. Affirmative. Give me an AGR. Descending crew. And TV had a light flash on the left side. You do see the rectangular shaped building next to it, correct? Yes, sir. That's affirmative. This is the mosque. Do not engage the mosque. The square building is the mosque, or is the rectangle? Building is lost. Roger that. Go. Officers, 3 vehicles oriented east-west. Do you see those? Yes. Got a vehicle moving out. One of the vehicles moving right now. Elevation. Are now clear to engage the moving vehicle. New nominal. Any personnel around, you see? Yes, there are personnel. Clear to engage us also.
Okay, let's continue.
More people clear to engage all those. Copy.
Taliban leader. Responsible for ID attacks on friendlies. In Helmand.
People coming out of the mosque right now.
Yeah, Helmand was so a lot of action.
There we go.
What is he saying? Up, ready? No. Sounds quite authentic, the radio transmissions.
That's a great job, sir. Give me 10 seconds. Roger. He went down to the ground. Yeah, he just dove underground. He's moving again.
Gun ready. You check out Airburst for the 105er.
Yep, that's marked.
Perfect.
Not really seeing anything. Was Intel expecting this place to be guarded?
I thought so.
Look, the door just opened. 3 guys just exited the building. I don't see any weapons on them.
Yeah. Timber! This is
2 of them just got in that vehicle. They started it.
you have to, there's this
They're
one
moving down.
WikiLeaks video where they also basically light up Taliban compound. And then some dude is, yeah, I mean it's not, one dude is hiding in the woods. And then they blow him up while a tree is falling and then the female operator is saying, Timber! Yeah, that is war for you, man. Especially if you have this distance. I mean, that is also what you see with those drone operators. It's a difference between being an infantryman and watching the war through some FLIR or TV footage.
Okay, let's give Reaper a sit rep.
Reaper 3, this is Vector.
Slip it.
3 individuals just exited the main building in the target compound, and 2 of them got into a vehicle. They are moving down the road towards the east.
Copy. You see the armed personnel around there?
Negative, we haven't seen anyone else in or around the compound, and the 3 individuals do not have weapons.
Copy. Monitor that vehicle and see where it leads to. suspect there may be Taliban strongholds around here that would provide QRF to that compound break. Maybe that vehicle will lead us to one.
Roger, we're on it.
Yeah, but it's usually this has to do what you see on Reddit.
Just turn, now it's heading west.
All those Reddit warriors. The further away from the front lines, the more people like to talk or being ballsy or whatever. It's never the dudes that really have to fight it. That's for those people are for me. I mean, not somebody who is sitting in a gunship or whatever. Yeah, those drone operators I have mixed back. I mean, sure they are in danger, yeah, but they definitely don't. Yeah, exactly. The further away, the braver they get. That's also what you see on Reddit in those subreddits or whatever. The clowns that ask here for, we need to fight to the last man. Yeah. Are usually some fucking wimps sitting in some safe country, 1,000 kilometers away from the combat zone, never experienced war, never saw a uniform from inside. It's also what you see for those two factions who ask the war to continue for whatever reasons. Bleed to the last man as long as it's not me. I am so brave. I will continue my Reddit fight. Until every other man died except for me. Those guys they are really, for me, I find them disgusting. It's really those fucking wimps. It's also what you see on Reddit. We need to continue that war until the losses for the enemy become unsustainable. And what does it mean for your friendly force? Fucking moron. But it's the only solution. We will never give up. Yeah, shut the fuck up, man. It's always the dudes. You never hear that. If you see interviews from frontline Ukrainians, Russians, whatever, those dudes are. Also, when it comes to the enemy, they never talk this bullshit. The enemies, man, they are meat waving or they're stupid or whatever. You always frontline soldiers. Yeah, the enemy is learning fast. The enemy is dangerous. The enemy is a threat. We do our best. That is what you hear from people with frontline experience. Now go on Reddit, then you have some wimps. They can't even order a fucking pizza on the phone without an anxiety attack. But those General Schwarzkopfs and Chukovs tell you how to win a war and that the war has to continue for another 10 years. Until the end sieg. Fucking retards, man. Those people I could punch in the face, man. For me, those people are the most disgusting, low-life, fucking parasites on the planet. Yeah, never fight for yourself, but ask other men to die for you. And a fucking piece of shit, man. So sometimes, man, you can't re-endure that shit on Reddit in those, war subreddits. All this yapping, man. I could punch those people in the face. You can immediately tell, man, there's some dude sitting in the basement, the hero we never needed. Dude would be the first guy running away, the first guy suffering a mental breakdown on the front line because he didn't receive his weekly counseling. Would be the first dude that gets an anxiety attack, but is the biggest yapper for war. This is what you see. The further away, some dudes in Spain or some dudes, those YouTube channels of those people, was the first dude that fled whatever, conscription or from either country. He's now sitting in some safe European country, makes a YouTube channel and is the big warmonger. Yeah, we need to continue fighting. We need to continue fighting. Man, we need to die for victory. Other men need to die for victory, not me. Fucking people. Also, fighting is one thing. Afghanistan, whatever. You also need to simply face the reality of warfare. Afghanistan was also turning south. And I could say, yeah, we need to continue fighting in Afghanistan to whatever ensure victory. But I would shut the fuck up if I'm sitting at home asking other men to go die for my beliefs. I think that is really the lowest, and yeah, Reddit is full with those dudes, man. Reddit is full with those dudes. There's some subreddits, man, you can't do it, man. Those people, I would be ashamed to be such a fucking trash person. Fucking retards, man. If you would send those dudes out, man, they would immediately need to see a therapist if they run out of soy milk if they're in the store. Yeah, it's basically like that. I watch the interviews, man. It's always the same. Dudes that hit the front lines, that experience real combat, experience the real horrors of warfare, especially of this modern drone warfare, which is even more dehumanizing what we had so far. They're always very grounded. They say, yeah, okay, plus you need to continue fighting, but you see even more people. I would never ask somebody else to go. I can understand when people desert or run away from conscription. I can understand it. You see that even from people who are currently fighting for the cause. Because they experience it, they know what it means to risk your life, to do that shit day for day. While some politicians yap in Turkey eating their caviar and can't figure shit out on meetings that cost millions of tax money, and but they are too proud or caring too much for their politician careers to figure shit out. Yeah, so let's continue that war for another 2-3 years. And let's get more men killed. Yeah. And if those politicians would sit on the front lines, man, they would work out a solution in no time, I tell you. And all those Reddit fat asses, man. Just recently read a comment. Some dude, we need to fight until the enemy can't sustain the losses anymore and has to surrender. Yeah, without thinking what that means for you, for your own forces. Yeah. That's sure. If you want to inflict 1 million casualties on the enemy, good, let's go, and then suffer another 500,000 casualties on our side. Fucking retards, man. And then you can immediately tell that you'd never saw warfare. Sitting somewhere in some fucking no-name country, drinking his soy milk. But on Reddit, man, he's a big, the big military leader. Never saw a uniform. Was probably not even drafted. Was even not even accepted into conscription. But he's a big, and I have zero respect for those people, man. I think they are even lower, man, than those politicians or whatever who, I don't know, man, it's so fucking low lives, man. Zero respect. If I could, man, I would move away all those brave men who have or must fight and replace them by those fucking Reddit. Yeah, and then we would see how it goes. Then after 1 or 2 weeks, I want to see the Reddit posts or whatever asking here for more war and for another 5 years of war. Yeah, I think as well. If you ask for war, then fucking go to war. Nah, it's always the same. You will never, every interview of a Ukrainian soldier, of Russian soldiers or whatever, say, it's the enemy is strong, and never hear warmongering much among them. It's always those dudes that don't have to die. It's always, So, and completely blind, have absolutely no clue of the military situation, no education, nothing, no grasp of military matters, nothing, but just yap all day. Replace the profile of your Twitter background profile or whatever, and feel like a true patriot, man. I'm a true patriot. I will never give up on Reddit. I will continue to comment until and I will continue being a brave Redditor until everybody else died. Fucking piece of shit human beings, man. So out of question that a person with decency would do stuff like that. That is basically, you're insta-qualified for the piece of shit club. fucking cowards, man. It's double cowards. Being a coward is one thing. Being a coward, but asking other men to die.
He's staying on that outside
That
road.
is double
west.
coward. It's a fucking quadruple coward. Being coward, absolutely understand that you don't, not coward. I mean, coward is also a very subjective term. Can understand that. I know young dudes from on both nations are GTFOing because they don't want to die for some fucking politicians or whatever. In the end, it is all about property, but not your property. You will never get rich of that. You might end up with a missing limb. In 5 years or 10 years, nobody will give a shit about what you defended or what you fought for. It was the same in Afghanistan. Was the same in all wars. I think one exception.
They are getting out.
One exception is perhaps World War II. I mean, World War II was a straightforward situation. But still, they maintained the decency, the respect. There was not some people pulling this degenerated shit off like you see nowadays, making some clown music video of people on drone videos dying or bleeding out, while in the background you hear clown music. That's why I think those drone operators, and for me, many of them are a piece of shit. I don't know. Perhaps they are not responsible to make those videos, but I never see, for example, GoPros of dudes that engage in close combat, and then they put in some clown music while they witness the bodies of deceased enemies or whatever. And then, hey, look at that guy, man. His forehead is split up. They are usually rather grounded. It's always those drone operators that release those piece of shit videos with some smileys or whatever, or clown music while some person is dying on the screen, which tells me simply, and that is also an effect we had already with those Predator drone operators. And I told you, I played those simulations. It is even fun to hunt down those pixels. Yeah, but I tell you, it will be also fun to hunt down real people, yeah, with your drones. Find them while they are in full agony, in full fear, and hunt them down, like in a game. It is like a game. And those drones find shit, kill it. Yeah? There was never a weapon system that was so comparable to a video game like using an FPV drone in order to steer it straight into some dude. Yeah? There was never something like that in history. And that's why you also can't compare it to snipers, artillery or whatever. It's absolutely a complete different aspect of warfare. You need a dude with little training. Operating an FPV drone is absolutely a joke. Doesn't require anything. Can train a dude on 1, 2, 3, a couple of hours and he's proficient with that shit. And send him or deploy him to kill people. I mean, again, drone operators are somewhat in danger because they can't stay too far away from the front lines. But still, you can't compare it to the dudes in the trenches, waiting until they get RT droned, fobbed, small diameter bombed, whatever. I watched a documentary of 3 Ukrainian soldiers. 2 guys, infantrymen, 1 guy, drone operator. After 1 year, both infantrymen dead. Drone operator survived. Which doesn't mean it's not bad, but this shit, and I would be ashamed if I would see my unit insignia in some of those videos. But those people are not ashamed. It shows me that they absolutely have, and it's also not really helping the propaganda effort. If you release a video of your enemy bleeding out and making jokes about him dying while you play some clown music, what are you supposed to achieve? Do you think it will inflict fear on your enemy? No, nobody gives a shit. They won't even watch that. Do you think you will get people on your side? No, people will think you are a degenerate piece of shit. You might even anger up people with that shit. It's also what some need to realize. Propaganda like that is not working. This is simply you are being a fucking low-life piece of shit. And if my unit insignia would be in one of those videos showing how some dude is committing suicide or whatever because of his wounds, while you play some clown music in the background, I would come personally for you and punch you into oblivion because you fucking piece of shit are absolutely the worst. And you only bring bad luck to our unit. Fucking zero respect. Fucking barbarian. You fucking piece of shits are not soldiers, man. Fucking trash kids, man. playing a bit on an Xbox and then becoming drone operators. Fucking piece of shit, man. Punch you all in the face. You can do drone, always do whatever you need to kill the enemy, okay? Fine. Releasing videos like that, you are a piece of shit. I have absolutely, there's no excuse for that. And dudes in World War II didn't do that. Yeah, there was shit going on in every war. Yeah, by us lowlifes like you. As always, yeah. War is bringing out the worst and the best in man. No matter if you are a carpenter, here, churchman might become the biggest mass murdering piece of shit, while some carpenter might become the biggest hero. War is bringing out the worst and the best in man, because it is so unsanctioned. I don't consider those dudes. Those dudes are not soldiers to me. They're simply.
Looks like that vehicle stopped at the compound just south of the
zero respect for those guys.
And they've exited the vehicle. I'm not seeing any personnel at the compound right now.
Roger. Let us know if anything changes there. We're heading out now.
Copy that.
When this war
See that? They're coming out of that south compound. 2, 3,
when this war finally ends, your drone units, who also the names always Widowmaker, here Killer, whatever, you can already tell what it's of type of kids that operate those drone units. When the war ends, finally at one day, man, everybody will think you are a piece of shit. I hope so. It's not about the drone usage. Every faction in every war will use all means necessary and available to subdue the enemy. That is fine. But releasing some videos here of dying people or whatever with smileys and shitty music, that simply is more humiliating for you, yourself and your unit than for any victim of whatever. Those dudes are dead. That is dead. No matter if you die a clean death or if you blow up into 100 pieces, nobody gives a shit. That is dead. But you are alive, and you have to take responsibility for your actions as long as you are alive. And I hope nobody gives a shit about you, piece of shits, man. Whoever's making a video like that is already, for me, terminally degenerated. That's why certain drone units don't do that, because they have some sort of respect and self-value. They say, okay, man, we need to do that. Focus on a target. It is our duty. Yeah? Call of Duty, whatever you call those games. Yeah? Making videos about dying people with clown music or whatever. You ending up as the biggest clown, man. As the biggest degenerate clown. Nobody gives a shit about that soldier who ended up and how he ended up. People unfortunately die all day in war. Nobody cares how somebody died. If he's tripped on a mine, if he died in some heroic charge on a machine gun bunker, if he got drowned, got hit by a bomb, in the end nobody will care. People die in war. There is no heroism in dying. Everybody that has at least some clue of that shit knows that. There's absolutely no heroism in dying. But what actions you do while being alive, that is a difference. And that is a conscious choice you do to make such videos. For me, that is basically war crime material. It's the same of those dudes that in war tortured people and made fun of them, fucking Abu Ghraib people or whatever. Or you are the same group. You are, for me, the same group, like war crime people or people that enjoy inflicting pain on POWs or whatever. You are belonging to the same group, you piece of shit. Nobody has respect for you. You can't call yourself Widowmaker or the Master Killers or whatever. You are a piece of shit.
We've got movement at the southern compound.
You're not really soldiers.
Personnel have exited, and some of them are armed.
You just got a controller into your hand and that's it.
Now.
Every retard can pull off your job.
Copy. Hold your fire until I clear you to engage. I don't want to go loud until we are on target.
You could probably even train monkeys on your job. Zero skill. A sniper requires skill. Right, infantryman requires skill, mortarman requires skill, you guys require 0 skill.
Back towards where you
So
are.
a monkey could do your job.
Roger.
I saw those guys also in Operation Enduring Freedom, yeah, those... You have them always in the military, those... It's always a degenerated. I never met intelligent, happy person, bright person that engaged in such activities. So also, we also had them in our army, they are in every army, they are also in every unit, they are also in special forces. Those people that enjoy, I know, killing unarmed, splitting their heads with canoeing or whatever. They are always there because the military is drawing those people, like the police. There's positions of power, you have a weapon.
Reaper 3, those 2 vehicles just turned south and are heading away from you now. You should be clear to move in.
Hunting down people with your drone.
Moving out.
Nav, keep an eye on those vehicles.
That
Have the
is-
other sensors overwatching the team.
That is of course cool, man. That gives you power. Finally, once in a life. But you're mocking nobody with those
Sector
videos.
1-1. As we approach this compound, we need you to be keeping eyes around our perimeter ring.
Except for yourself.
We'll set up a cordon around the compound with our gun trucks, but we'll need you to intervene against any QRF force ring. I say again, you are cleared hot on any hostiles that are approaching our cordon.
I saw one
Copy
video.
all. We're cleared hot on any
There was
hostiles approaching your
a soldier
cordon.
in that war. A soldier in that war killed another soldier, and he recovered his phone. And then he browsed through that phone, and he found the number of the wife of the deceased soldier. And then he called the wife of the deceased soldier and mocked her for killing his husband, her husband. Yeah, sorry, man. Yeah, she, of course, it will be hard for her, but she will recover. But you are a fucking deceased monkey, yeah? And I hope you burn in hell, man. And in World War II, you would have not find people like that. They didn't travel to Germany to find a wife, or Germany, or I mean, Germans got defeated, so and occupied by the US. There was not some US soldiers. Oh wait, I killed that dude. What was his name? Hans Wurst. Wait, I found Madame Wurst. Hey, Madame Wurst, I killed your husband. Man, yeah, get wrecked. Yeah. That's only telling about you, man. If they would make a movie about you, all audience would think you're a piece of shit. If that video, and also releasing that video, yeah. I mean, it's not only about it's of course about the action, but that you'd upload the video as some sort of mockery for the enemy. If they make a movie about you, yeah, in, I don't know, 10, 20 years, everybody will think you are a degenerate piece of shit. Nothing else. Nobody will think, oh man, that wife got humiliated. Nobody will think that. Everybody will think, what a piece of shit, man, you are. I never heard, yeah, but I mean, of course, yeah, you had this shit in other wars, yeah. Dudes cutting noses or ears. Probably would also have done the same if they would have a phone or whatever. Yeah, but as in all wars you have degenerates, but the degeneration rate is definitely increasing. Those piece of shits. You are not soldiers, man. You are fucking... And you will suffer from that. Just wait. Yeah? Just wait a couple of years. I hope you will suffer from that. Because it doesn't matter. Hate, yeah, whatever, blah, blah, yeah. W is going to add a 100 years war game to the news Age of Longbow. Ah, yeah. Ah, cool, okay. Jimmy, here, Agincourt. Incoming. I'm so happy, man, that I served in it. I mean, we also had a lot of degenerates, but I would never serve nowadays, man, with all those degenerated. Also, yeah, nobody wants to go to the military, especially in war, I mean, sure. But it's interesting how you see the difference between people that really have to fear for their lives and fight for their lives, how they also perceive the enemy. Those dudes that should be the most anger ones, because they have the most fear and they might witness the most violent stuff inflicted upon them by enemies are usually the most grounded ones. Never hear those dudes. And those dudes that sit on their drone screens, yeah, they also suffer dangers, sure. Or those Reddit Vims, they are always all in, yeah, kill them all, man. Fuck, there's no war crimes against them, burn them alive. Yeah. It's interesting. You would rather expect the opposite.
All parties, make an entry, out.
I see enemies pouring out of that southern compound.
Gun 2 armed. Gun 3 armed. Gun 2 armed.
Yeah. Can we fire?
Back to 1-1.
Then it.
Got on mid. The compound is confirmed to be what we thought. Great.
There's a lot of edge loading.
Some time to process things down here. Keep up the support.
Yeah, those Vims, which can't order a pizza, man. Perhaps I will order tonight a pizza. Oh shit.
Flare.
Oh, so. Man, pizza. I want to order pizza since months. There's also this edge loading, which is typical for those dudes, for those mental health Redditors. I also want to be a badass, man. I was always a fucking loser in was always a loser in my life. I want to be a badass. I want to be rough, hard. So you can't really give that much on that. You never hear that shit from frontline soldiers. Never. Of course. Yeah, no. It's crazy, man. I watched many of those because there's one YouTube channel. They speak Ukrainian, but with English subtitles, man. Interviewing all those frontline soldiers, which really experience crazy shit, man. One dude, he literally had a flashback in the interview. Dude went through massive. Dude got hit by 10 drones, man. 10 grenades, and you can't. I could immediately tell that it's not a fake. Could tell in his face, man. Dude went through a flashback, but it's good. It's good. If they tell the story and they go crazy like that, it is good for them. That's also why we are so eager to play those fucking video games, even years after that, and going crazy on them. That's why those armor milsim clubs are full with those veterans, because you need that shit in order to work it out. The no-cluers think that is bad. Yeah, no. That's why video games are, for example, very important for veterans. Why, for example, playing something like the Battle of Fallujah in a video game is absolutely perfect to go through that shit. Afghanistan. Because you're in a safe environment and you can work out that shit without somebody killing you. But some dudes need it full. Yeah? Some dudes need full, and that's why they go back to war. But that's, of course, now very stretching. Because that shit will never leave you alone. In good and in bad. But not every veteran is the same. You also have degenerated veterans, retard veterans. So there's not really a homogeneous group. It's like in real world. Some dudes learn faster than others. Or learn better. And there's also, in the forces there's not the same type. There's also, I tell you, the military is also drawing a lot of piece of shits from the beginning. A job with weapons, uniform, playing Lucky Luke, power fantasies is also drawing a lot of piece of shit. The police has the same problem. commander. Before my deployment, we had those case studies or whatever you call it, and I told that we had this sand wargaming, and it was about what happens if our convoy gets blown up by IED and we have to exit the vehicles to recover wounded, and suddenly you spot dudes with a phone or somewhere at a building, and then the battalion commander said light them all up, while I already understood that this full aggression approach will not work out, as it proven true. Sometimes you need to fight, sometimes you need to get full aggression, but if you blow up all civilians or whatever around you, hearts and mind will not work out, you will get kicked out of the country. What happened? We got kicked out of the country. And that dude basically said, if you see somebody with a phone, drop him. I said, wait, and everybody was shutting the fuck up, and I said to the battalion commander, wait, if I see a phone, dude is not directly a threat to me, I will not order my platoon to blow that guy up. Because there's so many civilians that I told you they're stupid, but stupid doesn't mean that they should get killed. Even if you don't give a shit about those civilians, you will damage the cause. Still, the goal of a war is to win it, and not and by killing civilians you will not win it. I even had the opinion that I might rather die myself before I blow up by accident a civilian. While normally in the military it's of course exactly the opposite. You rather light up people in doubt before you get endangered. From a military standpoint, okay, but I never wanted to return from that shit, killing some kids or whatever, because I lit up everyone that had a phone in its hand or whatever, and has to be considered. And that dude, then the battalion commander got angry that I even opposed him, because I was just that young dude. Everybody else was shutting the fuck up. Some butt lickers, of course, then also linked in, and of course, in order to impress the battalion commander, I didn't give a shit. Because I was in another unit who doesn't need to give a shit. Those dudes, man. So we didn't give a shit about what some battalion commander of a regular unit has to say. Anyways, but and then we had meal in the chow hall, and there's in the military there's those church personnel. I'm not really a church person. They have a cross instead of a rank. They don't have regular ranks on their shoulders, but they have a cross on the shoulders. Quite interesting. And those dudes, they were not from my unit, again, because I was running a small, different unit, And then those dudes didn't sit on my table in order to show me how they are disgusted that I said that I don't want to kill civilians and I will not give an order like that. Really, so infantile, man. It was really infantile. What was it? Was it Fallschirmjäger? Fallschirmjäger or Gebirgs, mountain infantry or airborne, which I had that course together. It was not really my unit, it was not my parent unit. But those dudes wanted to show me how bad I am, man, for reducing civilian casualties by not sitting at my table while in the chow hall while having meal. With such dudes, when you go to war, and those dudes have to pull off life and death decisions about other humans. And then that church personnel soldier, or military church personnel, sit down on my table as the only person. I didn't give him even a shit, because at that point I was the only dude wearing a bird. Everybody immediately knew what is going on, because nobody else in those units was allowed to be. So sit down and said, man, massive respect for really good. I really like what you pulled off there. Basically, I don't know. I can't remember the right words. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if somebody gives you a shoulder clap or whatever. I would also pull it off without some dude coming to my table, but that tells you sometimes what monkeys you have. Yeah, I mean, sure, you could agree. Yeah, I liked them all up. Yeah, I liked the entire town up, man. But again, yeah, we had a goal there, and you don't achieve that goal by lighting up all civilians. Yeah? And this, if somebody bombs your convoy, man, in a suburban or urban terrain, terrain, dudes will come out. Yeah? And a lot of Tonys will pop their phones. You can of course also end up like here, Blackwater or whatever in Iraq, getting stuck somewhere in a convoy, protecting some fucking food or whatever, and lighting up 80 civilians, yeah, and becoming history for being a mass murderer. Yeah? Good job, man. But you have so many retards in all, also special forces, man. Like, massive retards in special forces, because they had to lower their, especially nowadays, I guess, because they can't draft people. They don't find. So nobody smart is going. Sorry, but I tell you simply the truth. Nobody smart and bright is going to the military anymore, especially not in special forces, man. So you have dudes that can pull off the Hell Week, great, and they can do basic math. Yeah, they know the einmal eins. Yeah, okay, 5 stars, man. You're welcome to the special forces, man. That was different after in the period of post 9/11, and nowadays, man, real hardcore. Can understand that you have such degenerated people, man. Fucking clowns releasing some shitty videos or whatever. Zero respect. Respect for every Tony that protects whatever is important for him. And yeah, you will use all weapons available. There is not something like, drones are bad. Don't use them. No, man, in war there's not such rules. We use everything available. But as releasing videos like that is simply, that is a step that is like, yeah, I don't know, for me, same, like torturing POWs or killing them or whatever. That is a step into degeneracy that shows that something is wrong with you and you abusing the situation. Yeah? And there's a lot of people, I tell you, they might work in an office and stare at your shoes when they talk to you. If you put them in war, man, they go and rape and kill and murder. Yeah, but in the real world with sanctions, man, they stare at your shoes and excuse me. You put those dudes in the war, man, they go and rape and murder. Yeah. Okay, let's continue. Give me a second. Enough here now about, yeah, let's play a game. But that has to be said, man. That is fucking degenerates.
That might be the rectangle building. Control 1 wildfire, just to confirm you're not clear to fire until I tuck your eyes onto that rectangular shaped building. Just to let you know what you suspected is a mark at this point. Copy. Not clear to fire until you have your permission. Negative, you are to pressurize. Thanks. Just on the east side.
road. I was on the west side of the road. But TV's got a couple lights popped on and off.
And I remember to this very day, you know, during those courses, they made, every hour or whatever, they made a break of 5 minutes. Basically here a smoker break. And for the rest, to get some air, whatever. Yeah? So usually we're standing at the entrance of the building. And it was already after that, after I pulled off that stunt. And I remember one dude talking to his buddy of the airborne or whatever. And literally saying, I mean, they don't like us. They don't like us there anyway, so I don't give a shit about them as well. Basically indicating that the Afghanistan population, of course, there were many that were not happy with that, with the ISAF operations and everything. And that dude basically, before his first deployment, already decided, okay, fuck them all, man. I'm going to a foreign country, which I try to appease. And again, even if you don't care for the humans there, if you want to be here some super military guy, military goes first. Still, you need to pull off. If you fuck up with the population, you screw up. You also screw up your military goals. I mean, it was some analyst, okay, but still, there was a lot of people that had this opinion. They've never were there, but they already went to Afghanistan and fucked them all. Fuck them all. If they don't like us, fuck them. Here in my country, some dudes coming in, man. I don't like them. Oh shit, man. Now they hate me. Okay. And then you wonder how you lose that war with people like that. Of course, it's a bit more complex, but you know, to tell you, there was also back in the days a wild culture. I think it's somewhat tied to intelligence. I never heard an intelligent person talking like that. But unfortunately, intelligence is, as I mentioned, not always drawn to the military. It was post 9/11. You had dudes that really also drawing a lot of shit, man. No matter what. A special forces doesn't matter. You see the same effect in the US. Navy SEALs, rockstars. Now all the shit is coming out in the recent years. Suddenly the rockstar status is over. And you realize those dudes were, many of them were piece of shit. Going out at the night and killing sleeping teenagers, splitting their foreheads. Making photos and then wanking themselves off in a team room, drinking a beer. That is for you the reality. And then we could come in and talk to the... Good, next scenario. Taliban ambush. Helmond? Is that how they spell it in English? No, wait, pause. Helmond? Is it Helmond? I only know Helmond. Helmond? Okay, I guess that is a typo. Yeah, that region. South was, of course. I mean, I didn't saw that much of the South. Luckily, South was, of course, but different story, yeah? Helmond, not Helmond. Helmond Schmidt. Helmond, Karl Helmond Gottlieb Schmidt, yeah? Helmond. No, there was no Helmond in Afghanistan. Or was there? Oh! Yeah. Okay, we're going to the Netherlands. Fucking Dutch. I told you, man, the Dutch are the biggest threat. Yeah, okay, now we're deploying our AC-130 here to Helmond. And fucking finally blowing up that Dutch royalty. It's about time. G mixed up helmet Afghanistan man with. Nah, I guess it's just a typo. With Helmond Dutch Castle. Yeah. Blow them up, man. Deploy the AC-130. Helmut Weinert von Dittersdorf. I can't even tell is that a real name, man. Yeah, Helmond, yeah, not Helmond. But it would be funny if that would be suddenly a scenario where you need to blow up some Dutch castle. Okay. Now let's wait, this zombie. Ah, perhaps that's... No, that's always Helmond, okay. I was thinking they perhaps pulled some fictional name for the for the zombie stuff. Good, Taliban ambush. Gee, those Dutch people, man, they're a huge threat. The Dutch royalty is behind everything. The Dutch deep state. I didn't check the weapons.
Spectre, this is Reaper.
Bandit.
Gun 1 armed. Gun 2 armed. Alright, 2 armed. Intel indicates a possible beacon of height on the hard wall up ahead between those 2 groups of compounds. And we suspect it may be linked to a complex attack right now.
Man, nice radius.
Currently halted about 500 meters southwest of that point. You're cleared to engage all personnel that you can PID with weapons in that area, including vehicles that they may be using right now. Be careful with the munitions you use. We've seen a number of civilians moving around in there. Any collateral will get us both in hot water.
Roger, we're on it.
Yo, I see RPG. You need to watch out, yeah. Weapon missing, yeah, but those suits are armed. What do we have else? Those suits are definitely armed. At least some of them. Same for those dudes. This guy, I don't know. He's definitely not armed. Okay. Any other targets? What is that here? Could be Taliban dudes. Yeah, those guys absolutely armed. But not being armed doesn't mean that you're not with the Taliban. But we'll definitely engage the priority armed targets. Probably not with the 105 considering the environment. So switch to the... What is that here? 20 or 40? 25? Hitting all at the same time will be a bit difficult. What is the biggest threat? I guess this group here. Ah, those dudes are definitely armed. I guess lighting up those 2 groups is a good beginning. The gun is misaligned. What's the problem? Back angle. Aircraft altitude. So can I set up the altitude? 1000 meters is not very much. In order to prevent man pads. Doesn't look like. Watch me. like how we also suffer from this. Man, the visuals are brutal. I like those Apache pilots, yeah, but you see that on the leaked footage, how often they have misaligned guns, so that is really a challenge. In that one AC-130 footage, there's a fire, you don't even see where the rounds impact. Ah, shit. But the Apache pilot is standing here, 40 Mike, you don't even see it on the screen, but he's firing them. The presentation is brutal. Imagine most of those dudes don't even know what thermals are. Imagine getting hit by shit from wherever. You don't even understand what is going on. Oh, cool, right? Yeah. Just lit up a civilian building, yeah, by accident. Who knows what happened there? This game is really also a good visualization of collateral damage. It's almost in every footage. They fire rounds with misaligned guns, Apaches, AC gunships, sending 50 versa rounds. Don't even see it on the screen. Something is misaligned. So on the one hand you have complicated stuff which requires mechanics and electronics, and also I guess training is not often a problem. It depends. I mean, that Apache dude, yeah, okay. On the other hand, that equipment is already old. The military is not replacing. You see, modern wars are being fought with equipment that is 50 years old. And they don't want to replace it. They rather upgrade it. It should cost money. Yeah, wait, is not enough? So the bang angle is not enough? Okay. Was it right? No, I don't think it was, yeah. By accident engaged civilian vehicle. There was a dude in a technical. Lost visual on the technical. Ah. Found. Reps. I also really like that they included those scenarios where it's not about kill 5,000 people and defend against 20 man-pads. I mean, that is a very authentic mission here. Basically, search and destroy. What happened? Okay, we lost the feed. Nice. Was it by accident or was it on purpose? That would be also quite realistic. I think that dude is armed, right? Yeah. I'm not sure, but I can't be always sure. I mean, let's do another pass. There's definitely some stick in his hands. He's out. Perhaps he was carrying, I don't know, a Gunship. I don't want to know how many people got lit up. I know it. How many not how many, but that people got lit up by carrying something in their hands that was identified as a weapon, which then turned out was not a weapon. Yeah, and what's next? Destroy all vehicle... Enemy vehicle... Yeah, okay. Destroy all vehicles should rather be. Which can be definitely ROEs. So we blow up all vehicles. But you ensure that you don't harm or that you respect all other ROEs. Which is not possible because that dude is now... Oh shit. Really enjoyed that game. Really good game. Very... some missions are quite authentic. Yeah, authentic, I mean, but yeah, you get the idea. Especially with this gun, boy, and... because they always struggle with that. Oh, okay, what next? Supposed to like those guys up, or what? Yeah, exactly, all the killed in action while operating ACs, gunships. Yeah, really cool. Shows dedication to the subject. Not simply some, oh man, that Call of Duty mission was great, let's pump out a game. Because there were already several games, but most of them didn't really impress me, while that game here is now going next level. And I didn't expect that. I played in the early stages. Especially this simulation aspect of keeping the gun aligned and everything. And how, I mean, in one mission we basically killed all friendly personnel because of a misaligned gun. So this basically you could teach that at university. Or at the military academy, how quickly an incident like that might happen. Or here, I hit a building by accident with several 40 mic rounds or whatever. But now, Jimmy, just the mission triggers could be a bit better. Something like what a lot of games do, if 3 dudes are alive, the mission continues. I guess there is somewhere some vehicle or some dude on the map. I guess those guys are genuinely not to be engaged. I also wonder why some dudes are still transmitting heat while others simply disappear. I'm supposed to double tap them out. Like those drone operators that blow up wounded personnel and give a shit on the Geneva Convention. Geneva Convention, if a dude is visibly out of combat, he becomes a non-combatant. Doesn't require surrender. Shit like that was even respected in World War II. But yeah, we live now in a modern world, who gives shit about that? Blow those wounded dudes up, man. It's called Horse the Combat. If a person is obviously sick, wounded, and can't defend her or himself, he shall be granted the protection of a non-combatant and should not be yeah, basically murdered at that point. That's why you sometimes hear this wild shit of why people like to send people's enemies 6 feet under by dropping 10, 15 rounds into them. Because then you don't need to worry anymore. Simply fire 15 times into the body, even if he drops. Because if he's still alive, you might get questioned about his Geneva Convention rights. I was never that dude, but shit culture like that existed. People call themselves warriors for that. Man, I finished the enemy, killed those dudes. Putting another 5 rounds into a grounded body. I know the dangers. You see those in Ukraine, some dudes, grenades or whatever, but flying out drones specifically to kill injured personnel out of combat is, by Geneva Convention law, a war crime. I don't give a shit. We never did that. I remember 10 years ago or 15 years ago or whatever, people argued about that, about those leaked Apache footages where dudes were visibly dropped and injured while the Apache gunner basically sent in another volley to rip them apart. Which already back in the days people discussed, should you do that? That is barbaric. Yeah, nowadays you simply send out a group of drones and drop 3 more grenades on that body until you see legs or arms falling off, then you feel better. It's also stupid, man. Why killing you rather usually inflict more problems for your enemy? This also has nothing to do with mercy kills. There's no mercy kills. There's some fucking piece of shit that it's normally by GC standards that is considered a war crime. If you, watch movies. If some dudes come in and specifically kill the wounded, how would you rate that? Would say that is bad. It's a war crime. If you specifically send out drones to kill wounded personnel that can't defend themselves anymore. Also, is that really smart? I mean, usually a wounded soldier might strain enemy logistics more if you keep the human factor out. A wounded dude, even for the economy, even if you look on it from a strategic standpoint, a wounded dude costs a state more. It sounds vile, but it is what it is. A wounded dude is inflicting more on the enemy than a dead dude. So a wounded dude recovered, he needs recovery, needs medical aid, everything. It's also stupid. Fucking retards. Nah, send out drones, make sure that they are dead, and release it for propaganda reasons. Good job, man. Really, you understand what people want to see, man. Absolutely, man. That's why I think those dudes, man, is low education. You need nothing for being a drone operator, man. It's fucking play 2-3 hours a PlayStation and you are a drone operator, man. FPV drone operator. And then release your clown videos. And yeah, make sure that you kill those wounded. Feel good about that. Drop 3 more grenades on that buddy, yeah? Not that he's playing dead. Yeah. To some extent, I don't vouch or don't support it, but to some extent I can understand why drone operators are getting mistreated or whatever on both sides. And again, you can't compare them with snipers. Sniping requires skill. Dudes, what you see in movies is not true. Combat snipers need to deploy very close to front lines. Effective combat range is about, I mean, sure, it's in modern systems a bit different, but still, you're sitting at the front lines. Yeah? You're not firing your sniper from your comfy basement. You need to be close to the enemy. There was in all history, not some long-range dude that is enjoying a cup of tea or whatever. Effective range of snipers. That's also what you see in those videos. Those long-range shots, they are very seldom. Usually, effective combat range is 800 meters, and most footage is even below that. Dudes even engage 200-300 meters, which shows you how close they have to deploy to the enemy. Okay, what now? Supposed to light up them all or what? See what happens if I light them up? Yeah, normally I would now say, okay, shit. But okay, let's see. Ah, wait. Yeah, but that dude is not armed. Okay. I would rather suspect there is some vehicle. Perhaps a vehicle that was not turned on, which is completely cold. Yeah, some of those mission triggers could be better. Light up all civilian or unarmed, just to check if the mission continues. I might restart that later, but let's first play the other missions. Oh wait, engage. But I think I blew that thing up on the main supply road. MSR. Yeah, actually in that situation you wouldn't use the term MSR, but okay. Oh, it's an ambush. Yeah, okay, that could be. Right. So I think I blew something up that exploded violently. Perhaps this here. Yeah, that could be a VBID. Yeah, but not. No. VBID is usually a vehicle that drives. What should we? Get out of here. What did explode there? Wait, let's check it out. Whoa! Yeah, there was a VBID.
Oh, I guess intel is right on that.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, okay, let's restart. I like that mission. Okay, now I know what I need to look for. Yeah, you could call it VBID, but I mean, I don't know, was a vehicle operational? Normally a vehicle, yeah, I don't know, perhaps it is correct. I can't tell. At least we call VBIDs, where basically vehicles that are used to roll. Did we ever call VBID Rex or something? I don't know. Let's restart because I killed that one civilian. I feel bad. Just to check out if the trigger is working.
Spectre, this is Reaper.
But the game is fun. I don't care for restart.
Alright. Intel indicates a possible VBIED on the hard wall of the head between those two groups of compounds. And we suspect it may be linked to a complex attack right now.
PID.
Roger, we're on it.
VID. But perhaps there are other forces, other rules. I know the term visual ID. PID was that personal ID.
Got 2 armed and 1 armed.
I was still chilling out, okay. Hey, Habibi, did you hear that loud explosion? No, man. Ah, okay, me neither. Yeah, that is authentic.
The
triggers are good, yeah, Justin. Oh, that's it, okay. I was thinking dude's moving in. Oh. What was it? This here, right?
Personnel right there.
Taliban's organizing a coordinated attack on Marines. First recon is sent out. Let's go. 25, 40, 105. Did you buy the game?
Ghost 02, Rifleman 01.
Bandit.
We've confirmed Taliban forces are consolidating in compound Woodland. That'd be compound 2-5 on the southeast side of the MSR break. Intel believes they are distributing weapons and coordinating an attack on the Marines in the area. We need to capitalize on this opportunity with so many hostiles in one location, despite the obvious potential collateral to Afghan infrastructure non-combatants breaking. You're cleared to engage all personnel within the designated compound, but you need to do this quickly. They're going to start squirting on engagement, and it may be difficult to PID targets once they have escaped that compound break. The mission will complete once all hostile personnel have been killed. Out. Got 2 armed, got 3 armed. Got 2 armed. Got 1 armed. Got 2 armed. Got 1 armed.
Yeah, it's a good idea with this escape stuff.